Hey, what's up, Internet? Trevor here for Love Make Share. I'm back in the shop without the kids this time. Got a bit of a break from that whole thing, and I am back to working on the War Droid or Assassin Droid puppet for the kids' Star Wars movie. So this is where it stands, and this is where it stood for quite some time. If you follow me on Instagram at LoveMakeShare, you can go back quite a ways and see some builds, some build progress photos for this model all the way back through 2016, and really, like, it's in a very clear state of not being done and not being ready to film for a lot of reasons, but primarily because I've just been distracted with other projects and need to get back to it. So what I want to do in this video is one, push forward as much as possible and finish as much of this as I can, but two, show you how this puppet is actually going to be used in the final film. So here's the puppet as it stands right now. He's got his head, he's got his body, he's got not a whole lot going on in his back. He has a foam core and styrene plating on the outside, and it's styrene plastic that I've used for all the little details here. Trying to get the camera to pick it up. You can see better from this angle, and obviously these will all be brought out much better for shooting. If you play the video game Star Wars: The Old Republic, you may recognize the shape of this guy's head, and some of the detailing is very much modeled after the Sith War Droid, the Sith Empire's War Droid in that game. And actually, it's been a long time since I played, so I had forgotten how much, in fact, he's modeled after that. So what is going on with this? What is going on with this model? The basic idea is that he's going to have two arms coming out like this with dual cannons on either side, and he is not going to have a body to speak of, like a lower body to speak of. He's just going to be floating, essentially, and this is a mount to have him on a rod, so it'll be a rod puppet. The original idea was to have the arms be all articulated so that he could be very expressive and stuff. I don't think I'm going to bother with that, not for this video. I've said in other videos that this is a literally years-old project at this point, and I kind of want to get it done and move on to other, better, more interesting and more complicated things. So I'm going to keep this fairly simple and just have stationary arms on either side, and have any personality from the droids kind of come from the overall movement more so than from any like flaily Muppet arms on them. Although that would be fun. So let me show you how essentially he's going to work. Alright, so here's roughly what the droid is going to look like when he's done. These are weirdly high. I think they're actually going to be down here, more like shoot from the hip sort of level, kind of like that, which is fine. Alright, so he's going to be a puppet. He's going to be a rod puppet. He's currently got this little black tube sticking out from underneath right here. And what is going to happen with this tube is this is going to be, I'm going to paint this in some sort of bright chroma color, maybe like a fuchsia. He's going to have inserted into that a mounting rod, which is going to be painted green. And then the whole thing is going to be lit and placed up against a green screen, like so. There are going to be little kind of leg details under here, kind of shielding for what this is going to be. So when it's photographed and I bring the footage into After Effects, I can kind of change the rotation and orientation of the puppet with the rod that's inserted in here. And then I can remove the green screen background and the rod using Adobe After Effects' keying tools. And then this pink thing right here, I think what I'm going to do is probably kind of chunk it up a little bit so it looks a little bit like there's like a flame, or at least it's irregular looking, so that when it's photographed, I can use this bright chroma color here as another mask, and make everything in that area kind of distorted and wobbly, and also use it as a point to add in like some sort of rocket visual effect. I'm thinking just, you know, heat distortion and maybe a bright spot in here, and then some kind of particles coming down here. I'll probably use the same plugin for that I'm using for the lightsabers, which is Video Copilot's free saber plugin, and I'll put a link to that in the description. So this is the basic plan. We're gonna have a floating robot, a couple of arm cannons. We're gonna have them float. We're gonna have some little, you know what? I had a sketch for this, so I'm gonna go find that so that it'll actually guide my build a little bit more. Because I think I had something a little more interesting designed here that kind of looks more like thrust vectoring or something like that. And then we have the robot, and then we can remove the background and track them into the scene. So the plan for today, fill in some of these open gaps in the head because they look chunky. Mostly I got to get the body done. I got to get all this covered up with styrene. I want to get a backpack put on here, kind of like K2SO in Rogue One. I didn't love Rogue One, but I really liked that droid design, so I want kind of a diagonal backpack almost, so almost like an air intake for the jet on the bottom, and then kind of close this up and add whatever detailing on the bottom here that I want to add. So let's get to it. Okay, taking a break for a minute. Just going to point out what I've done. So I've done a thoroughly terrible job of putting on the rest of the plating, but that's okay because much like carpentry, I think working with styrene is a lot in how you finish it. So I'm going to be using some of this plastic putty filler. It is... this was recommended to me at a hobby store, so I don't know a ton about it. But I have some filler here that I can tidy up these edges. I'll do some sanding once I am confident that everything is set up. This is the top of a Powerade bottle. I thought it was cool. I thought it looked like something that might act kind of like a jet nozzle. But yeah, I've got all the plating on, so at the very least, as I move forward with styrene details, I have a surface to glue them onto. I'm slowly getting the helmet, the head, plated in, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know how much more I'm going to do on this. I think a really good paint job and some creative photography will hide the fact that it's mostly not full, and I will just kind of fake it. But yeah, the body is coming together, and I like it. I'm not going to attach the head, though, until I get pretty much everything on the back done, and then I can just have this guy sitting on the side while I build his arms.